All right, here we go. Wait, the Cowboys are out of it. That means, great things for me and my Packers, but I won't digress too much into it. But you're also keeping McCarthy, which means no Super Bowl next year either. But let's get into the divisional games. First up, we got the Texans and Ravens. I think it's going to be a much closer game than people are expecting, but I do think it will be the Ravens. They're going to run a ball control offense like they normally do in their defense, and I just think that the Ravens will come out on top. Packers and 49ers. My heart says the Packers. My brain is screaming, saying the 49ers. Um, I'm going with the 49ers. I think the only way the Packers have a chance is if they can jump out to like a 10-0 lead. The 49ers, just kind of like the Cowboys, tend not to do that well when they're playing from behind, but they also, I mean, they're just a far superior team than the Cowboys. So again, Packers fans, don't hate me. My heart still Packers fan. That's what I'll be cheering for. But my brain is screaming 49ers. Now, on to Sunday's games, the two games that'll probably be the closest. First up, Buccaneers and Lions. I think that it'll be a very close game, but overall, I think it'll be the Lions that somehow make it to the NFC Championship. I just think their firepower will be a little bit too much, and they will make it to the NFC Championship against the 49ers, most likely. Then finally, the Chiefs and the Bills. I've been going back and forth and back and forth. Um, I honestly, at this moment, still don't know. But for the sake of this, I'm probably going to go with the Chiefs. I think it's one of those, you go with the champ until you take the belt away. The Bills have a chance, but what people aren't talking about is just how beat up on defense they are. Milano's out. I'm forgetting the other person that they lost on defense, in the middle of their season. And it sounds like two more of their defensive starters aren't there. And as much as people think the stars are aligning for the Bills, I think, when you're missing that much of your firepower on the defense, and with Rashid Rice starting to put it together to give a second target with Kelsey, and Pacheco's just been such a revelation at running back, and of course Patrick Mahomes, I think it's the Chiefs. So those are my picks for the divisional rounds.
These are my picks for the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. In the NFC, I do think San Francisco will run through Green Bay, just like I said in our last video. As good as Green Bay has been, and they have looked as the best team in the league, I think they're actually going against the real best team in the league, and they will come down to earth this week. San Francisco by double digits, and Green Bay scores less than 20 points is my prediction. I do think the Lions will manhandle the Buccaneers. This is probably the biggest lopsided matchup in my mind left in this round, and Detroit's firing on all cylinders. I think they easily handle Tampa Bay. In the AFC, I think the Bills and the Chiefs will be the best game of the week. Back and forth, shootout, maybe not too high of a scoring game, maybe high 20s to low 20s. And I think the Bills come out on top and finally get over that Mahomes hump that they've been stuck on for a few years. And I think the Ravens will send CJ Stroud and the Texans packing. Impressive showing for the rookie Stroud, but the Ravens are going to just be the Ravens and win the game.
These are my picks for the second round of the playoffs. I have the Ravens over the Texans. The Texans looked great last week, and it's been an awesome run for them. CJ Stroud looks like a top 5 quarterback and one of the future stars of the league. I think he's going to keep the game close and that the Texans will be able to cover 9.5 points. I think ultimately having home field advantage, a strong Ravens team that has a balanced attack on offense and defense, they're able to stop the run, they're able to stop the pass, and they're able to run the ball very effectively. And I think that ultimately they're going to be able to grind this one out and win a good game at home and move on to the conference championship game. I have the 49ers over Green Bay. I think that the 49ers are going to lean heavily on the run game in this one. Christian McCaffrey should get a lot of looks, and I think it's going to be too much for Green Bay to stop. I think Green Bay is going to fight really hard in this game and keep it close for a while, but that ultimately the 49ers will pull away down the stretch and win by double digits. I have the Lions over the Buccaneers. I think this is going to be a very close game. Last week, the Lions fans set the record for the loudest stadium in NFL history, reaching over 133 decibels. It's going to be a crazy home field advantage, But if anyone can do it against them, it's Baker Mayfield. The guy's got a lot of moxie and poise. He's playing great football. I think he'll keep it close, but the Lions will pull out the game by a field goal. And finally, I have the Bills over the Chiefs. The Bills do have a lot of injuries, but I think the Bills' offense just overmatches the Chiefs by quite a bit. I think the Bills are finally going to be able to beat their nemesis in the Chiefs. Pat Mahomes, this is going to be his first career road game in the playoffs, and I think that home field advantage will carry the Bills to a victory by about a touchdown.